Welcome to Cheap Joe's Test Studio. People tell me all the time they have a hard time finishing the watercolor without getting all hard edges. Let me show you an old method of stretching paper that also prevents all hard edges. I've done the drawing on the paper, so you always do your drawing on dry paper. Never try to draw on wet paper or you're gonna really mess it up if you do. And I'm going to turn it over on the back. It's on a sheet that I'd also drawn on and has some messes on. And I take my bucket of water. I'm going to pull it over here so you can see it better. This is just water. And I absolutely just start socking it to the painting. You can't get it too wet. And I'm going to soak the back. Get it really wet everywhere. And then I'm going to flip it over on the front. And I'm going to soak it. Now this has got picked up paint off of my board, and that's okay. We'll scrub those out. You'll never know they were on there. And I'm going to soak the front. Again, remember, you absolutely cannot get it too wet. We have to get it all the way through the paper. And this paper is 140-pound cold pressed. Particular paper is Kilimanjaro, which is our own paper, and of course I'm prejudiced to that, as I like it a lot. I also like Arches and Fabriano and all those other papers. Now, we're going to take a break here and just let that settle for about, I'm going to guess, 10 or 15 minutes. And buckles should appear in it. And we'll come back and show you how to get the buckles out and how to finish stretching it. The paper is buckled just a little bit, but really not enough. And now what we need to do, it's damp, but not wet through and through, is we need to turn it back over on the back and wet it again. Just sock it to it, just like we did the first time, and be sure you get it wet everywhere. I've waited about 15 minutes, I guess, from the first time I wet it, and it generally takes 20, 25, 30 minutes for it to soak all the way through. Then I'll turn it back over on the front. And by the way, this is a piece of gator board that this is laying on right here. And I love using gator board because you can use staples on it, you can tape on it, and it's tough as can be. It's tough as a gator. And I guess that's why they call it that. And so now I have it really soaking wet. Now then, if any buckles appear or any bubbles, and there's one right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, you simply lift up the edge of the paper right here. Just lift it all the way up and wet the board underneath while you put the paper back down like that. It's kind of like wallpapering. Just wet the back of the board and slowly pull the paper back over there. And that should get all the buckles out of it. Now then, we'll let that set for maybe another 10 minutes, and if no buckles appear, we'll be ready to do the next step, of which we'll be right back. We've given the paper another 10 minutes and no buckles have appeared, but if they did, remember we'd simply lift the edge of the paper, paint the gator board with water behind, and then lay it down real easy. But it's flat and smooth, so the next step, and this is really important, is to take the excess water off of the paper now. And we do that with a roll of paper towels. Now, I generally buy these Viva towels because they don't have a pattern in them, and so I think they work better. And I'll lay 2 rolls over it, and I'll use these towels again. I don't throw them away. And then I come back in with a 3rd layer over this. I should own stock in this company, shouldn't I? But like I say, you don't throw it away. And then you take your hands, holding them flat like that and applying some pressure, go from side to side on this paper. Lift that top sheet and bring it down. And again, from side to side. And this gets rid of all the excess water. Look, then I take them all off and I'll hang those towels up across my chair in the back. And there the paper is stretched and ready to paint. And I want to show you just one brush stroke because I know you're saying the paper's soaking wet and the paint's going to go like this, but it isn't. Watch this. One little, I'm going to pick up just some color here out of my palette. It may be muddy, and it probably is, but I want to show you this. Look here. And it will stay right there. That nice clean edge that it's cutting there is going to stay there because I took the excess water off of the paper. And we haven't even put a sky in yet. We can still come back and do that. But I just wanted to show you how easy this is, and I don't have to rush to paint now. We could leave a negative tree there coming up. I don't have to rush because I've already got plenty of time. I have plenty of time to work on this before it gets too dry and starts leaving hard edges. I can soften this. It is a fun way to paint. It's an easy way to paint, and it's really helped me in my journey on painting. So I think it's something that you would enjoy doing. It's probably the easiest way to paint that there is, and I just love it. You can keep coming back. You can add more color in this. Look at this. I can keep adding some darker stuff into it, some lighter. I can work for a long time, and I can't do that on dry paper because on dry paper I'd already have some real hard edges in there, which I just do not want to get. So I'll put a little sky back in there. Let's soften some of those edges. See, I'm not going to get any runs or rings because the paper's damp. And as long as the paper's damp that way, I'm going to end up with some nice watercolor edges. We'll put some more of this over here and let it run in there, that wet in wet. Wow, isn't that fun? Whew. Just love it. And that's how you stretch paper. Add some darker stuff over here. You can always come back and add darker stuff into it wherever you want to. Let it cut in there like that, and maybe have a tree or two in here, and some that wet in wet stuff just works so nicely. So much fun. I just love doing this, and I know you do too, or you wouldn't be watching this. So that's how you stretch paper and keep on going. And maybe in another session we'll come back and pick up this very painting and finish it and show you some more detail, little tricks on the tray. Thanks for being with me today.